Hello everyone, this is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disruptmeister. Remember to subscribe to this channel. And please, everyone, spread the word about these videos over Twitter, email them to your friends, do everything you can, because I really feel that these Bitcoin videos of mine are totally different than the other ones out there. I'm in Africa right now, Southern Africa, and we're actually doing things here in Africa. And I'm talking about the price of Bitcoin too, still keeping in touch with everything in the Western world, in America. But this is some unique stuff, and we need the media to really start to cover some of the things that are going on down here. Because as you can see in my previous video about the guy selling his cattle for Bitcoin, there's some interesting stuff going on, really. And this is not theoretical. You go to Bitcoin conferences and you hear people say, oh, Africa's the future. And you hear videos of people saying Africa's the future. I'm in Africa. I'm seeing it right now. I'm giving a unique perspective here, and I'm telling you what it really is. This is not theoretical stuff. I wanted to quickly say that on some other videos that I did recently that we were talking about the IRS, a lot of you start commenting and asking questions about your personal situations, about how you sold at Bitcoin and bought Bitcoin, and you get very specific about what you're doing. Don't do that on the internet. You're giving away your personal information. You're talking about financial transactions that you've made, taxable financial transactions. I advise you not to talk about your very personal finances on the internet. And you're using a YouTube screen name, it doesn't matter. It can get tracked back to you. So please stop now talking about your personal tax information and asking others about it too. Just don't get into that situation, because you might get in trouble. You might get caught doing something one day. You might get blackmailed. I don't know. So be careful with that. Again, and then some of you are once again saying, well, buy and hold is good, but you know what's also good? I should loan out my Bitcoin. What's the risk of lending my Bitcoin to other people through platforms? And someone said, well, I might lose some of it. But I'll make it back because I'm getting a good interest rate by loaning it out to other people. No. If you lose some of it, you're not going to make a profit at all. And the reason you don't do something like that, it's incredibly foolish to get into these situations where you're lending out your Bitcoin when it all can be stolen in the person just doesn't pay you back at all. That's it. They take 100% of it. But why would you do that? I don't care if you're getting paid whatever, 10%, or you can lose it all, 100%. Makes no sense in the world, especially with Bitcoin, which goes up, can double in value in a year. Why wouldn't you just hang on to it? There's no risk in hanging on to it. You can't lose it. You really can't lose it all if you just hang on to it and buy and hold. All right, we're getting to the Africa stuff. Hang on. There's so much to cover today. Andy Hoffman sent me an email here. It looks like somehow through Amazon you're going to be able to use Bitcoin there now. I'll link to it, the article. You can study it yourself. I haven't had the time to really read all of it. Diego sent me a week-old article about how Bitcoin futures are coming, and that's probably a positive thing for the price. I will link to the Reddit that shows the whole article. All right, everyone, check out that video that I made before about the guy in Zimbabwe who's selling his, I'll link to it below, selling his cattle for Bitcoin. And it's an example of this man during the hyperinflation in Zimbabwe, which was now, I guess in 2008, 8 years ago, whenever it was, he had to deal, and he told me this himself, he had to deal with prices changing every hour. And he's trying to sell his cattle, okay? So people like this, Bitcoin is great. A lot of people say, well, Bitcoin has so much volatility. The price changes every day. How can I deal with that? Then look at it from his perspective. It's a joke to him. It's a joke to him, the price of Bitcoin, how it changes compared to what was happening every hour in Zimbabwe. Every hour the guy has to change his price when he's selling his cattle back in the day. So for people like this, we have no concept of this in the Western world, okay? We really don't. What they had to deal with in Zimbabwe and other places that have experienced hyperinflation. So when you talk about Bitcoin volatility, how it's a negative and it'll never spread and this and that, these guys don't give a darn. They love it. It is as stable as anything to them, okay? Also, going back to the point I made about the loaning out and lending out of Bitcoin and doing risky things and getting into these groups, the MMM scam hit Zimbabwe pretty hard. And a lot of people found out about Bitcoin that way in Zimbabwe, but a lot of people lost money. I have talked to, yesterday I was talking to a lady who was hit by that scam, and they said how they gave them the hard sell, they were brainwashing them, just all this horrible stuff. So you guys have to be careful of all the scams out there, one. And two, it shows that some people in Zimbabwe and women in Zimbabwe started learning about Bitcoin through this. And we're going to talk about women in Zimbabwe know about Bitcoin at a higher rate than women in other countries. I'm pretty sure. It's very interesting. And it's partially because of the scam that happened to them. But there's a passion here among young people. They want to better themselves. They want to get into money because money is a big thing here. They've had nightmares with money, absolute nightmares with money. So they're willing to try out a lot of things, and they're very interested in Bitcoin, and the young people really want to learn about it. So it's really refreshing, and I'm going to post a video of at least one young person coming up soon, talking about her, why she likes Bitcoin. That'll be coming up soon, so just stay tuned for more videos. Again, I'm at the Blockchain Summer School Conference in Harare, Zimbabwe, which is just a totally unique experience in the Bitcoin world that you're only getting here on this channel, okay? And I'm really proud of that. That's why I'm stressing this with emotion, because I really think this is very important stuff here. Very, very different, very important stuff. And when I'm talking about the passion of the youth learning, you know I'm a passionate guy, obviously. Now, Lorien Gamaroff is also a very passionate guy, and I have mentioned him in other videos. I met Lorien in 2015 at the Cape Town Bitcoin Conference, or whatever they call it, the South Africa Bitcoin Conference that was in Cape Town in 2015. Lorien, I have said, is the Roger Ver of South Africa in terms of, he's spreading the word, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? He is more important than Roger Ver. In South, I really think he's going to end up. Roger taught a lot of people about Bitcoin, gave a lot of Bitcoin away, and I think that's very important. And he was huge. Lorien is doing this on the African continent now, and it's hard to do it here. And he should be. I think Lorien is one of the most important people in Bitcoin on this planet right now. Look him up, Lorien Gamaroff, Banky Moon. And I'm not just saying this because he's my friend, and he's a good person. He really wants to teach everyone he wants to teach about Bitcoin. He's very giving. And I saw it yesterday. He's changing everything up just to fit the audience perfectly. And I've interviewed, you can see interviews I've done with Lorien. Maybe I'll do another one here in Zimbabwe with him. I want to get some new people on the show too, obviously. But it has been an honor to teach with him, actually. I got an opportunity to help teach the young people a little bit. That's how I came, I didn't come here. That was it. He's the main teacher here. I was supposed to give speeches and this and that, and I will be doing that on Friday. But I ended up interacting with the younger people so much more than I thought I would, which was really exciting. So I just want to give Lorien all the credit in the world, and it has been an honor to be with him, to teach with him, to see him in action. And it's an honor to tell everyone out there who's watching this in the United States of America, in the Western world, wherever, that this guy, Lorien Gamaroff, is huge for Bitcoin. Huge for Bitcoin, and really important for Bitcoin. I also want to give credit to Tawanda Kembo, who is the guy who is the biggest Zimbabwe Bitcoin guy out there, the guy who's putting on this conference, the guy who owns the only Bitcoin exchange in Zimbabwe. And by the way, if you want to open an exchange in the world, there are no regulations in Zimbabwe at all for Bitcoin currently. And I don't know all the technicalities behind it. If you were an American citizen to come here, what exactly you would have to do, ask Tawanda. I'm sure he wants the competition. They need liquidity. They have liquidity issues here in terms of Bitcoin. on the exchange. You can sell your Bitcoin for close to $800 on his exchange right now. And the regular price of Bitcoin is close to $750. Anyway, Tawanda is an awesome guy too. He's doing great things. I just want to give him a shout out. He's going to get an interview soon. All his partners are awesome guys. So nice. Such nice people here in Zimbabwe. They're very soft-spoken too. We're used to people yelling like I'm yelling right now. But it's just been a really great experience, and these are very nice people. And you can email Tawanda. You can email Lorien. Right now you can do this. So that's it for today. It is still like 6 in the morning here. I'm going to go to the second day of the conference. I'll report. I'll post stuff. But I just want to give everyone credit that's working so hard in Zimbabwe, in Southern Africa. The Zimbabwe Bitcoin ecosystem is small. It's much more developed than the Mozambique one. And it's growing, and there's just people working very hard. So look them up. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister. I will talk to you later.